All right, I'm back. I got a quick question for you. Have you ever said yes when you wanted to say no? Have you ever allowed someone to cross a line because you were afraid of how they may feel if you said no, if they would get upset? Have you ever found yourself over exhausted or overextended from constantly giving, helping, fixing, rescuing, carrying responsibilities that were never yours to carry? If so, you may not have a giving problem, you may have a boundary problem. Boundaries are not walls that keep everyone out. Boundaries are doors that allow you to decide what you will let in. A healthy boundary says, I can love you without losing myself. I can care about you without caring everything for you. I can forgive you without giving you unlimited access to me. I can be kind without saying yes to everything. I can say no without becoming a bad person. So what are boundaries? Boundaries are the limits that protect your emotions, your mental health, your spiritual growth, your physical health, your relational relationships and relational health, and even financial well-being. If you think about your home, would you just leave your doors and your windows open to allow anyone to just come in when they feel like coming in? You wouldn't. It simply means everyone does not have unlimited access to your private space. And your life should not be no different. Everyone should not have unlimited access to your time, to your energy, and to your emotions. They should not have unlimited time. Access to your time, your energy, and your emotions. Everyone should not have unlimited access to your resources. Everyone should not have unlimited access to you. Access should come with responsibility. Because when you are, or when you have no boundaries, people may begin taking what you never freely chose to give. Your time, your peace, your energy, your emotional strength, and sometimes even your sense of identity. Boundaries protect your peace. One of the first things healthy boundaries protect is your peace. There are people who can walk into a room and change your entire emotional atmosphere. One person's call can leave you drained. One conversation can make you question yourself. One text message can disturb an otherwise peaceful day. So interruptions could throw you off throughout the day. And when you don't have boundaries, you may feel obligated to answer every call, respond to every message, solve every crisis, and explain every decision. But you don't have to be available every moment just because someone wants access to you. Sometimes protecting your peace means not answering immediately. Sometimes it means saying, I can't have this conversation right now. Sometimes it means I need time to think before I respond. And sometimes it means recognizing that every invitation to argue does not require your participation. So let's talk about some people in the Bible. All right? Let's talk about Nehemiah when God gave him an assignment. and how he set boundaries in the process of his building. How Nehemiah said, I'm going to complete this assignment and I'm not coming off the wall. And he had opposition. He had people that were upset because they would not have access to Jerusalem. It would no longer be exposed. They could no longer go in and out as they pleased. They could no longer enter as they wanted to. So boundary reset, we talk about Nehemiah and building a wall. So what's one of the first phases of building a wall? Of setting boundaries. Recognize what has been broken. Nehemiah did not begin with bricks, tools, or construction plan. He began with awareness. When he heard that Jerusalem's walls were broken and its gates burned, he allowed himself to see the true condition of what had been left exposed. So he recognized that the walls and the gates, there's exposure there. They can come in as they so please. You cannot reset what you refuse to recognize. Before healthy boundaries can be rebuilt, you must honestly identify where your time, peace, attention, emotional energy, relationships, and purpose are leaking. So you got to honestly recognize where your peace, attention, emotional energy, relationships, and purpose are leaking. Awareness is not condemnation. It is information that makes intentional change possible. You cannot rebuild what you have not first acknowledged is broken. What is our second key? Decide what deserves a response. When Nehemiah's opposition mocked and questioned him, he answered with clarity, but did not surrender his assignment to endless debate. He knew who had authorized the work and refused to let opposition control the conversation. Okay, so he knew. He was confident. Not every question requires a long explanation. Not every accusation deserves a defense. Not every message requires an immediate reply. Boundaries often become visible through communication. Clarity can be respectful without becoming a lengthy justification. So you don't have to stand there and just keep on going on about your boundaries. Somebody else trying to convince you as to why it's going to benefit them. They need access. And 3, let's see what 3 says. Inspect the walls before you rebuild. Before Nehemiah announced his plan, he quietly inspected the walls. He looked carefully at the damage. He did not rush into action without understanding what needed repair. So that's 3 things of boundary reset right there. Recognize what has been broken. Decide what deserves a response. Inspect the walls before you rebuild. Key number 1, awareness. In 7 days, we can reset what we think about boundaries. Because, let's get to this right here. Boundaries are not merely about saying no. They are about stewardship, wisdom, protection, order, and recognizing what God has entrusted to you. The biblical account of Nehemiah offers a powerful picture of what it means to recognize broken places, rise up, and rebuild. Withstand resistance, guard the gates, and refuse to abandon a God-given assignment. I'm going to read that again. Boundaries are not merely about saying no. They are about stewardship, wisdom, protection, order, and recognizing what God has entrusted to you. The biblical account of Nehemiah offers a powerful picture of what it means to recognize broken places, rise up and rebuild, withstand resistance, guard the gates, and refuse to abandon a God-given assignment. Then the walls of Jerusalem represent protection, identifies security, and clearly defines access. When your walls are broken, the people are vulnerable. You're vulnerable. In the same way, broken or absent boundaries can leave our peace, time, emotional energy, relationships, focus, and purpose exposed. Broken boundaries can leave our peace, our time, energy, emotional energy, relationship, focus, and purpose exposed. This 7-day journey is not about becoming cold, distant, or unavailable. It is about learning to love with wisdom, serve without self-abandonment, give without depletion, and protect the life God has called you to build. You are not building walls against love. You are building what has been broken and learning to wisely guard what God has entrusted to you. And learning how to wisely guard what God has entrusted to you. So you be the judge. Is it time? Are you ready for boundary reset? 7 days and a new outlook. 7 days and a new outcome. Are you ready?